Okay, so now we're on day 4. Day 4 is when you are super mean to yourself. And you actually look at your story, your essay, and see what parts you can fix or get better at, enhance. Just read it really carefully and see what you need to do. So let's go down to the bottom on the start key, click on Microsoft Word, and then a first rough draft. Click it to open it, make it larger. All right, so my first piece of advice when you're doing something like this is to read your story out loud. Read each word that you see on the screen. Sometimes kids will read it in their head and they read what they meant to say. They don't read what is actually on the screen. And my second piece of advice is as soon as we get to the very, very bottom, stop, let someone else who you know is super mean read it and ask them to be honest and give you honest tips on how to fix this and make it better. Not to say it's broken, but rather how do you make this better? Okay, so let's get started. At the beginning of my freshman year in high school, I met a girl named Kelly. She liked to act. Kelly would tell me stories about her acting club while we waited for school to start. The club's name was Teen Act. I got really interested in her club and asked if I could go. She agreed to take me. We rode out to Orlando one Thursday afternoon. It was then that I met Teen Act. I was incredibly scared, nervous, and shy when I first met this group. I had never acted before. What was I doing here? I'm going to say there. Double click on the word that you want to get rid of. Or you could just put a T in front of here, really. What was I doing there? They did not make me act at first. I just got to watch. This group was the type of group. I don't like repeating myself. This group was the, how about, I'm going to change this group to the word they. They was, no, get rid of that. They were the type of group that hugged a lot. I was not used to that. They also laughed a lot. I was excited to see that. Now, if I want to make my vocabulary sound very, very smart, you can double click on a word that you want to replace with something smarter. Make it gray. Then put your mouse on top of the gray word and right click. Move your mouse down to the word synonyms and you can get synonyms for that word. I was thrilled to see that. That's good. I was thrilled to see that. Next, they let me stand in for one of the absent actors. His name was Mario. The group had a big performance coming up, and they needed me to stand in his spot. See, now I'm repeating myself again. I'm going to take out stand in and write take his spot. Big performance coming up, and they needed me to take his spot. I did not have to worry because I would not actually be acting in the big performance. Teen Act stood for Teen AIDS Community Theater. They did skits to educate the community about HIV and AIDS. I was only supposed to stand where Mario stood and say the line that Mario was supposed to say. I had a lot of fun being him. They all joked that Mario had shrunk. Apparently, he was a larger boy. After that, the group went to Wendy's. I usually go out to eat with my family. This was the first time I had been out to eat with only friends. I felt like an adult. There was a lot of fun had, but I did spend all of my money. I did not have a job at that time. It was funny, though. That was the first day I actually wanted to get on stage and act. Ooh, I accidentally put that in the wrong place. Okay, so I'm going to put my mouse in front of it, hold down the shift key, and then click behind it and highlight the whole thing by doing that. Click in front of it, hold the shift key, click behind it. Then I'm going to right click on top of it and cut it because I meant to put that in a different paragraph. Yikes. Then a few weeks later, Teen Act had their big performance. It was at Laughter Positive. This was in front of lots and lots of people. Remember, I did not actually have to perform. I did get to put out the mics before the actors took the stage. My heart was beating like crazy. I'm going to right-click and paste those sentences. It was funny though. That was the first day that I actually wanted to get on stage and act. I knew then that I should give this club a try. Finally, I began to attend many rehearsals. Teen Act let me be. If you see an underline, right click on it and see why a part of their show. I loved it. What if I double click on you, right click on you, go down to synonyms? I adored it. Good. As I grew more and more confident in my acting, I grew more and more confident as a person, and then an adult. Learning to act helped me grow and eventually become a teacher. Teaching is like performing. You stand in front of people and talk about something that's boring. About a special subject. There we go. If I had not been to Teen Act, I do not think I would have been a good teacher. Yikes. Double click on good, right click on it, down to synonyms. Respectable, upright, virtuous, worthy. I like worthy. A worthy teacher. Trying acting out was a fantastic decision. How about beginning to act was a fantastic decision. Okay, good. So this is done. Now remember, my second piece of advice was let someone mean and critical who will be honest with you read it. Make them sit there and look at it and really tell you the truth. How can you make this better? Sit there and fix it. Take their suggestions, bump up your story to the next level. Then you can come to the top and click File, Save As, Computer, and then you go to Essays. Right now it's called a first rough draft. Change the word rough to final. And you're going to call it a first final draft. And it has your last name. Then you click Save. So this is a whole separate file. Come down to the bottom, click Add Submission. We're going to turn this in. You're turning it in so that the teacher can check it. Click Add, choose the file, a first final draft. Click Open, and then Upload. So tonight the teacher will check it and attach comments on this assignment. You'll come back tomorrow to find those comments and use those comments to fix the essay up just a little bit more. Click Save Changes, and then you're done. All right, so good luck.